Just because you're the lucky man without testosterone?
With the hairdo. I got the hairdo. Hello there, friends.
Hello.
So, Julian, we went to Comic-Con Brussels.
We did.
We picked up a lot of stuff. We went to a toy show / record show a couple of weeks ago.
A toy show, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really horrible toy show. I bought some records.
Yeah, me too.
I bought some stuff from Japan. And I did some thrifts today in the Netherlands. So, with what shall I start? I'll start with the thrifts.
The thrifts from today.
So, in a thrift store called Siam, which is a strange name, I bought these two awesome telephones. This is a cordless telephone. I'll give it to you. And this is the official Dutch from the Dutch government from like the early 90s, but I think it's really amazing. There's a loose piece in here that was 11 euros or something together. Nice!
It even has the
person's number.
Yeah, the person's own number. In
Which
case
is handy
you forgot.
if anybody calls you. And they forgot which number they typed in. So I went to a used products and they had some sweet Xbox games. Sweet! 3 euros a piece.
That's a great
I think this one is a rare one. I don't know for sure.
Well, I'm not well versed in the Xbox
no, me
canon.
neither. And then I got the Warriors, which I had the PS2 version of. But
apparently a very good game.
Yeah.
I've never tried it, but it's...
have you ever seen the movie?
Yeah, it's a great movie. I love it.
But if there's an Xbox version, I prefer the Xbox version or GameCube version.
Because it has better graphics, or...
And also, I don't know why.
There's no
I just
reason.
like the cool green cases and Serious Sam 2, which I also haven't seen a lot. I got the first one.
This is based on Sam Eklo, right?
Yeah.
Serious Sam Eklo.
Have you ever played Serious Sam 1?
No. Tell me, what is it about?
It's like a Doom clone, but in a ridiculous style. And the enemies come running from very far away, like you hear them come, like headless guys. But it's just dumb, sure action. It's fun.
You like it?
I like it, but first-person shooters make me sick. Motion sickness, so I never get to play them for a very long.
So why did you buy it?
Because I like it. But it's like half an hour, wait 2 hours, play half an hour.
You've never been able to stomach first person?
I was playing Destiny 2 years ago, and I think the frame rate now is better, and I didn't have any issues with Destiny. But like the classics like Quake, Doom...
You've never been able to fully...
play them longer than half an hour or something.
And what about GoldenEye, my favorite?
No, they were
I love GoldenEye.
sick to my stomach from it.
Really? And what is it, just the perspective or the...
I think it's the perspective combined with the frame rate, because with the more modern games it's less of an issue, so...
Alright.
Then these were in a thrift store, $2.50 a piece. Mortal Kombat.
That's the reboot from a few years ago, right?
Yeah. And Fable 2, I got this because this is the collector's edition, which is really stupid actually. But
wait, this is already from 2011? Damn.
It's already 8 years
ago. I thought it was a more recent game.
No, apparently not.
I'm starting to become Thomas.
Yeah.
According to Thomas, everything from 2003 is very new and modern.
And I also found this rather old comic book for Star Trek, and the Dutch translation is Spaceship Enterprise. I don't know if the TV show was called like that in the Netherlands and Belgium.
I don't know. Back then, from which year is this?
The 70s, I think.
Pretty sure you only had the original series back then, because
1987.
87. Okay. Yeah, so that's around the time of the first the next generation series.
No, that's 80. No, it's 78.
Ah, okay.
I'm a dyslexic fool.
Yeah, because 78, of course not. That's the year.
But
of the first
I wonder
movie,
if the translation in Dutch was...
I think it was just called Star Trek as well. I remember my grandfather talking about Star Trek.
But it's cool. And I also found this Shredder figure for 50 cents.
Yeah, I have that one too from the
the
idiom.
You can... This guy can get some really weird poses. I bought him for my son Hughes because he loves playing with things like this, and he kind of trashes them. And then from another thrift store I got I forgot the name of the vehicle.
Pepperoni or Die.
Pepperoni or Die motorcycle. Yeah, it's incomplete, but it was only €1 or something. So
you could not resist.
I could not resist. Sorry.
I love the pizza.
Well, I'll finish up with thrift store finds.
Okay.
I have one last thrift store find. This was $1.50, and this is actually a bootleg Saint Seiya toy. Mm-hmm. It looks exactly like the original figures from the 80s, but it's a fake one from Taiwan, probably from the 90s.
I have no idea what this is.
It's Saint Seiya, Le Chevalier du Zodiac in French. It was really popular in the late 80s.
And this is called Swan Cloth.
Yeah, it's like typical Chinese. The young small universe being crazy about a bronze saint now exceeds the golden saint. What? It's typical for Hongkonese.
That's what is it? English?
Taiwanese toys to have like.
Whoa!
Nonsense.
What a horrible figure.
Yeah, but the original looks the same.
Okay. And where did you find it? In a thrift store?
Yeah, in Antwerp.
That's so weird. How does a fake one of these end up in Antwerp?
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm not gonna keep this one. I'm gonna trade it away probably because I'm not really.
Look at those boots, dude. Size 45, 48.
I got a 45. So watch your mouth there.
Look at the small head. Small head compared.
Yeah, but
huge
because
muscles.
the plastic helmet has to fit on it.
Okay.
I remember in Christianse, like this was a local toy chain. They had pictures of these toys in the 1990 catalog, and I didn't know at the time what it was, so I was like mesmerized by the golden colors.
You like gold?
Man, I got a bit of a cold, sorry.
So now you're spreading your disease?
Yes.
Now I'll leave with a cold as well?
No, sorry. My sister gave me this for my birthday.
Yes, you had your birthday. Happy birthday,
yeah,
Tom.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
26th of February. This is like tape, but with Lego studs on it. So you can
so
tape
you're
it
no
on
longer
the wall.
the only stud in the house?
No, I got more studs than I can count. So you can like glue it on the wall and then put minifigures on it or whatever. Or a castle, like make a castle like this.
Would it really work? Would it hold together?
We'll see.
90-degree custom? I think it would just fall apart. Yeah.
Probably. We'll see. I'll try to make something fun out of this.
You can have a monorail going up the wall.
So I bought some stuff from Japan. This stuff is from like July till December, I think. But they allow you to. So well, let me start in the beginning. You buy on auctions Yahoo in Japan, but you use a service in between, and they keep the stuff, and then you make a complete package.
Okay.
And then you send it over.
And that's cheaper, or?
Well, you don't speak Japanese, and all the Japanese seller, they only want to send in Japan, not outside of Japan. So it was sent at the beginning of December, and it arrived yesterday.
Wow.
And that's the 5th or the 6th of March.
Today is the 6th of March.
So the 5th of March it arrived. They even include some Christmas chocolates in the box.
They were still fresh?
I ate them, so... The first thing I got was the Super CD-ROM 2. And the reason I bought this one is because, first off, it was cheap. I paid €80 for it.
Is that cheap?
Yeah, loose in Japan in the stores it's like 300.
Whoa! Why? Is it rare?
It's rarer than the other CD-ROM attachments. It actually doesn't function any different than the CD-ROM attachment that I have, but it matches my core graphics too perfectly.
Okay.
Only problem is I don't have the power supply, but I ordered the third-party one online. So you put your CD there and you play some games. So
what is this from NEC or what is this?
Yeah, NEC. That's the console and this is the CD-ROM.
It's so tiny. Is this the console that works with this?
Yeah, with the cards.
Wow, for back in the day, that's really a tiny console.
Well, an NES is actually also pretty tiny.
Yeah, this is tinier than.
Yeah, but they just made a very big plastic case around it. But if you see a Famicom is like this. It's not that much bigger.
Cool. But that of course is monstrously huge.
Yeah, which is funny because the first CD attachment is the same size as this one. So
why is this one?
Just for style, I guess.
Or lack of style.
No, I like it. I like the way it looks. It looks really ridiculous. Like it's a bit of a transfer, you know. I love it. So I also, because I bought a new CD attachment, bought a new CD game.
Of course.
Of course. And
this one is that eBay cashish money.
This was before I sold on eBay. Crest of the Wolf. This one it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, never released outside of Japan.
What's the? Is that the official title?
I think so, yeah.
Isn't it unique that they include the English title on there for a Japanese game?
But it's an English title, and if you read it too, it's really like Cristo Ofu Worufu. So they named it an English title and just translated it in Japanese.
Okay.
Good.
How much did you pay for this one?
I think 20.
Is that a good price?
I think so, yeah. It's a more sought after game. And then I bought 2 more Sega SG-3000 games. First off is Golgo 13, which is a Japanese manga comic. It's also an NES game.
It's a fat box compared to the other
one.
Yeah,
this one is a regular, this is typical Sega. So this is a regular cartridge. And this is the Sega My Card cartridge. Like in the PAL Master System, you also had these.
I remember.
The My Cards. These My Cards don't work in a PAL Master System.
Do you remember what was the reason why they released some games on the cards and some on cartridges?
The cards are cheaper to make. And the idea was that like the smaller games, the cheaper games were released on.
But I think they were. Well, there were not a lot of games in Europe for the cards.
No,
I saw a few, but
I think 15 or 20 or something. But a lot of them also got re-released on cards. So it's really, in the end, it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
And in Japan, you didn't even have in the first model, you didn't have the card slot included, so you needed to have a cartridge where you put in the card. I have that, of course. Of course. And this is Wonder Boy for the Sega card. Which is cool because this is the last version of Wonder Boy that I didn't have yet in my collection. So
now your collection is complete.
Wonder Boy is one of my all-time favorite video games. So
I have no idea what it is about.
You never played Wonder Boy?
No.
You ever played Adventure Island on the
Yes,
That's exactly the same game.
Ah, okay. So
they just in Adventure Island they gave him a hat.
And why? So is Adventure Island the official?
Is the original.
Ah, that's the original.
So the game was developed by a company called Westo, and they licensed it to Sega, and they distributed it as Wonder Boy. But Sega also paid for the music, or made the music, whatever. And then they licensed it for the NES as Master Higgins in Adventure Island, and Hudson Soft just changed the music and replaced the figurine with a fatter figure with a head on, and voila, Master Higgins was born.
Okay. Strange
thing is, the Wonder Boy series takes a completely different turn. After the second game, it becomes more of an RPG side-scrolling game, while Master Higgins in Adventure Island continues the classic Adventure Island style of platforming. So.
Okay. I quite like the fact that they included the score book in the manual.
Unused.
In English, name, date and score. So if you wanted to keep score, of course you could just make up any kind of number and say like, I'm the best.
And that's cheating, Julian.
Yeah, and a Japanese person would never cheat, of course. Because they have a high sense of honor.
So, did you get anything in these last couple of weeks?
Well, not a lot. Well, as you told your audience in the beginning of the episode, we went to a record fair.
Yes.
In where was it? In Antwerp.
Antwerp, yeah, in the Antwerp Convention Center.
Antwerp Expo.
Expo, yeah.
So yeah, we went there to find good toys.
Toys and games, but
the only thing we found was vinyl.
It was really a strange show. It was the military show combined with a computer show, combined with a toy show, combined with a record show. And the only cool thing was the record show.
Yeah, yeah. So, I remember I saw some, there was one guy, I think a German seller, he had at least 4 or 5 Bruce Springsteen maxi vinyls that I didn't have. So and they were priced, I don't know, they still had the original British prices on like 69 pence, so great prices. So then I asked him, so what's the price in euro? And he said, oh wait, I still have to
price them.
I still have to price these. And then he started looking up prices on Discogs, and I just walked away. I said like, yeah, this is going to be ridiculous.
You didn't walk away immediately.
No, I waited for 5 minutes. And he was still putting them inside plastic sleeves.
Yeah, it was like
looking on his smartphone for prices. So yeah, I knew it was going to end up as maybe a 10 or 15 euro record per disc. So a ridiculous price. So I didn't buy them. In I think maybe the penultimate stand had something like that. He had a few laser discs, but they were all in French, which was I saw Retour du Jedi.
The Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but I was trying to continue in French, but I wasn't interested in those. And then I found the Lost Boys vinyl soundtrack. One of my favorite movies, The Lost Boys, from '87. Of course, I didn't see it back in the '80s because I was only 3 years old at the time. Great soundtrack. I remember I found it on CD for €1, at least 10 years ago. But I've been wanting the vinyl for the longest time, to quote Thomas.
I was. People are strange.
Yeah. It's a great cover. The Doors cover by Echo and the Bunnymen. Even with produced by the original keyboard player Raymond Zarek, and he resumes his keyboard duties on the track, on the cover. Yeah. Great movie, great soundtrack. This wasn't priced either, so I feared the worst when I asked the guy how much it is.
Guy? Yeah.
No. This was just a Belgian chap. And then. Luckily, he wanted 5, so that was an okay price. And it's not in the greatest of shapes, but it's also not in a bad shape. So it's I'm a happy customer because this one I've been at least I think I've only saw it once before in Germany of all places.
In Germany.
Yeah, I think in Hamburg. But it was at least 15 or 20, so way out of my comfort zone for an old vinyl record. I'm quite happy.
I also bought several vinyl records.
Yes, you did.
Well, you didn't buy several, you bought one, but I bought this little stack. Well, if you don't like 80s pop, this won't be
Tune
for
out
you.
now.
Tune out now, but I bought Operation, as they say in Austin Powers.
Wang Chung,
but it's just Wang Chung. And Dancehall Days is the most famous song, I guess.
Dancehall Days?
Pretty good records for the rest. This one is one of my favorites, Sly Fox. Let's go all the way.
Let's go all the way.
The song was used, I think, in the GTA 4 or 5 trailer.
I'm not sure.
In the cinemas back then, 5 years ago or something.
In the cinemas?
Yeah.
What do you mean in the cinemas?
So the GTA 4 trailer that you saw in the movie theaters.
They played a GTA 4 trailer in movie theaters?
4 or 5, I don't remember.
That's cool.
And that's where I learned about the song, but I like the entire album. I had it copied on minidisc, but now I have the original. And also one of my favorites, Bronski Beat, Age of Consent. Tell me why! Yeah, pretty gay music, but I like it, sorry. Kate Bush, Lionheart. My sister had these when we were teens. Not as good as I remember. I put it on once and I was like, but Oh England, My Lionheart, of course, remains a classic.
That's a song I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh England, my Lionheart.
Not too bad, Thomas.
Devo Shout. I bought it purely on...
Devo? Isn't it Devo?
Devo, it's possible,
Devo.
Devo. on name basis because I know the group, but I never heard this album. But it's really good. It's really funky, new wave, punky style of music.
Funky new wave.
The title song "Shout" is also very good. Shout. Yeah, look it up.
Let's not shout "Let It All Out" because
that's Tears for Fears.
No, Tears for Fears.
And I had these songs already on a different single or EP because Gary Newman released a lot of EPs. But I like this one because it has the tour dates on the back.
The original 80s tour dates.
That's pretty cool. This one was also very cheap, I think, €2.
Yeah, I remember I had I have an Aha 7-inch single that also includes the dates for the 87 tour.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's cool. It's quite
cool. Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
Classic.
From Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I have it on tape, but like it got mangled one time in a tape player, and I had to cut out a piece, so there was a piece of audio missing because it was really broken. I don't like this album because it's on 2 discs. I really hate that.
Ah, come on! Those are my favorites.
No, but sometimes the song is only one side. I mean.
Oh, really? One side? Yeah. One song per side? Why is that? Because it's a very long.
Yeah, because it's a very long song. But I hate standing up.
No, I hate standing up.
Julian says.
No, I was wondering some songs are just credited to FGTH, that's Frankie Goes to Hollywood, so that's like the whole band, and then some songs are credited to someone
else. They're songs without lyrics, so.
Oh. But isn't it a weird situation? I mean, they had like 3 or 2 massive hits, and then they just disappeared. Yeah. They only have 1 album. Right? Something like that?
I think, didn't they change the name also?
I don't know, what happened to Frankie Goes to Hollywood? They were like the biggest
thing.
They
went to Hollywood.
No, they were like the biggest thing for like a year or 2, and then
Frankie says relax.
Yeah, and then they just...
T-shirts. Yeah. Anne Clark, Pressure Points, I believe, yes. I love all Anne Clark albums.
What's Anne Clark most famous for?
Oh man,
I know her name, but I can't put my finger on it.
It's really depressing music. Like she always is like...
If you're listening, Miss Clark, don't be offended.
I don't remember the title of her most famous songs, but it's like she really just talks over a lot, over the... Like
she's the original rapper.
80s like dark beats. Like,
okay.
But it's really good. I like it a lot. In like in English, but not like a Cockney accent, but like I don't know from where she was, but in an accent.
Where she is? She's still alive, right?
I don't know that. Yeah, probably
is. If you're listening, you're still alive.
So I bought 3 Thompson Twins albums, but I seem to only grab 2.
Okay.
I didn't know the band, but it's a really famous 80s pop band. So
I think they're like contemporaries of the Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, something like that. It's more southern style with more
right up your alley.
Yes, with more drums and things like that. So I love it. So the most expensive one was the Devo album at 10, and I think Devo, and the rest of them were all between 2 and 5.
Yeah, great prices.
Yeah. But this type of music is not popular at the moment, so that's why it's so cheap.
New wave? It's not no, it's not new wave.
Most of it is just pop music.
And it's not popular at the moment?
Popular? I don't think so.
I thought 80s pop never went out of fashion. But I could be mistaken.
I think so too, but I think the majority of people...
I'm a big fan of Aha.
Disagree.
Ross. Yeah, well.
What else?
Maybe... Comic-Con?
Maybe we'll cut here.
Okay.
And save Comic-Con for the next video.
Yes. Are we still recording?